Hey everyone, welcome to the Breaking Point YouTube channel. If you're liking the videos, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get to the hunting action. Let's get on the board tonight. Let's go with a new arrow tonight for good luck. Gotta switch the mojo. It's a little after 5 o'clock here. We just got set up in Urban. I was hoping today with this cold front we were gonna hunt one of my permission spots or some public where I have some shooters on camera, but the wind that we got today is just not ideal for trying to slip into those spots. So we decided to come back in here. We're sitting a new set tonight, a new spot on Urban that I've never ran a camera. I had one here about 100 yards from here the last couple of years, but they cut a trail up into this big timber here this summer. This trail I got this camera on. I've had decent activity on. I had a little buck come through here this morning. But I would say about every other day I got does and fawns coming through here. Heading to the food sources in the evening, so I feel like we got in here pretty quiet. We didn't booger any deer that we know of, so I think we're sitting good. These deer don't bed too far from where we are right now. Hopefully we can get on the board tonight. Urban has been a struggle so far this year. Just haven't been seeing the deer like we normally do, but there's a lot of standing food nearby, and I think that's got a lot of these deer hanging out in cornfields and not really on the property yet. So hopefully tonight's the night.
October 7th, 4:15 in the afternoon. Back in my Urban spot. We're dried out from last night. It's about 68 degrees. We got a north wind. We're gonna play kind of a little bit of a stupid wind tonight, but I don't know what to do. We got so much corn to the south of us on this private property. It's hard to know really exactly what to do. Got rising pressure, barometric pressure. It's supposed to be like 31 tonight, or 31 this evening and keep rising, or 30 to keep rising. So we're gonna try to go in.
around 6:30 here. Pretty good start to the night. One of the better nights we've had so far. 40 minutes ago, we had a 2-year-old 8-pointer come from behind us in the woods here. He kind of hung out here for a little while. And was licking some branches. Looked like he might have been working a couple scrapes. I think it might be the buck action on camera this morning, coming down this trail. A little bit after that, we had a spike buck come out in this CRP behind us. About 10-15 minutes later, another spike buck, a little bit smaller than him, come out, same spot. They just kind of worked out to the southeast of us here. No does so far, no sightings at least. But I know there's some that hang out in here.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're enjoying this week's content on the show. If you haven't already, check out our YouTube membership called the TBP Club. It allows you early access to all of our YouTube videos. It allows you access to our members only live Q&As, which is once a quarter. And it allows full access to our Rut Live grand prize giveaway. If you haven't already, check out the TBP Club.
I don't even know what to say. That was a fun night. We were a little discouraged at first. We weren't seeing anything, and I happened to turn around probably last 30 minutes of shooting light, and I was like, hey, there's a deer. And Logan got on him and said, that's a big buck. And it looked like a good mainframe 10. I could see some kickers or splits off his main beams, but we had him 60, 65-ish yards. Ended up, our thermal started pulling back towards the river. He ended up winding us. You could just tell he got in to about 65 yards and he walked right into it. We dropped some milkweed and saw us pulling right to him, and he kind of circled around, but then circled back around and just hung out for, Logan said he had him on film for about 8 minutes, which felt like way longer, honestly. But he ended up circling back around, him and a smaller buck that came in, and going back towards the south, where they came from, which, I mean, awesome experience right there and encounter. But then he rolled out, and I mean, it was pretty much like 7:10. I think 7:15 was last, or no, 7:10 was last shooting light. It was like 7:05, and we started pulling some stuff down. And then we had a small bachelor group of bucks come through about 40 yards in front of us, and then actually shortly after him, right after we pulled everything down, bags were lowered, bows was lowered, which it was after shooting light, we're pretty sure we saw kickers. You could just tell by how those main beams wrap around. It looked just like him. It was just dark enough. You could still get some light through the binos on him, but it was definitely a solid buck and was not the same one as what we had coming behind us. So good overall night. Yeah, I'm excited. So gets me pumped up. Now we got a night off, and we're gonna get back into probably Logan's spot. Let this rest a little bit. It's supposed to warm back up. Logan needs to knock some does down and see if we can't do that. So
at HHA, bow hunting is in our blood. At the moment of truth, there are no shortcuts, no excuses. It's just you and your bow. So when we build a sight for these moments that take your breath away. For the past 40 years, we've been setting the tempo for bow sights in the hunting industry, and this year we did it yet again. New for 2025, the Nitrix from HHA.
Let's go. 20-3 here. We're just heading out. First hunt of the year statewide. We're going after a big one.
It's 4:45 here. It's been kind of a shit show of a start to our hunt tonight. Kind of a jungle gym getting in here, but we got situated. We kicked up 2 deer on the walk in here. There's some blackberry brush right behind us here. They were like 10 yards from the tree. There was nothing we were going to be able to do, so yeah, it's just been not ideal, but we got good weather. That's the one thing we got going for us right now. We are hunting tonight after my main target buck I call Ranger Rick. He's a buck I actually have had 3 years of history on. And previous year I found the shed off him during shed season. This is our first crack at him tonight. I wouldn't say I'm holding out specifically for that deer, because there's 2 other bucks in here that are also really nice, and I would definitely shoot if they came by first, but I really want to run into Ranger Rick. That's my main goal, so. But we're basically sitting a pine stand here. There's a couple little draws that cut through it, and we're sitting one of them. We've had a camera down here for the last month or so. I've had probably 5 or 6 pictures of Ranger Rick on here. Unfortunately, all of them have been nighttime, so I don't have super high hopes tonight, but I wanted to get in here just so we had a plan as far as how we're going to set up later on in the fall when I do think he's going to be more regular in here. There's a few good ones running around here in this piece. A lot of deer in here, just need the right one to come by us, so buckle up. Should be a fun hunt for this deer this year. We just got back to the truck here. Had a good first sit in this spot tonight. We saw 4 does, 1 little spike buck, and probably like a half dozen raccoons. We had action almost all night. Just nothing big, but I wasn't getting my hopes up too much this first sit. I more or less wanted to come in here. I mean, there's been some good bucks in the area here, especially Ranger Rick. But I more or less wanted to sit that spot tonight because I feel like it's going to be one that we're going to hunt a lot during the rut. And I didn't want to go into it the first time during the rut not knowing how to set up in it and stuff. So I feel like we got that figured out pretty good tonight. All the deer that come through worked perfect, pretty much in bow range. Didn't really have a clue we were there at all. So I'm very optimistic about that spot come later this month and going into November. But going to be taking a couple more days off of hunting here, and then this weekend I'll be getting out again. So looking forward to hopefully getting another stab at this buck here in the coming days.